What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. And as the number one GFL enthusiast and the number one GFL supporter on MMA YouTube, I've got to do this. And I've got to do a complete, detailed breakdown of the recent GFL draft. And I'm going to be ranking all of the teams. There's 6 teams. I'm going to be ranking the teams. I'm also going to be discussing the divisional matchups that can occur. I'll be kind of talking about who I think is going to be the best fighter in every division. We're going to be doing all of that. I'll also be talking a bit about Tony Ferguson as well. So this is just going to be a fucking video taking the piss. All things GFL, all things draft, all things unks, and just everything that we want to talk about, you know, because we're just going to laugh at this fucking old head fight promotion, which is about to be the goofiest thing ever. But it is going to be incredible, and it's going to be very enjoyable to watch. So without further ado, we're going to start off, and we're going to go in order of like the rounds that they were drafted. So we're going to start off with the Dubai team. I think it then goes to Los Angeles. I think it then goes, I think it's Dubai, Los Angeles, Miami, London, São Paulo, New York. I think that's the order. If not, who cares? Anyway, let's get started and talk about Dubai first. Let's do that. So, the Dubai team, this is my front runner for who's going to win this tournament, honestly. Like, all jokes aside, as much as I'd love to say Fabricio Verdum is going to win the heavyweight tournament or something, like, I don't know. I think Dubai's team is just too good. I think they do have some old fighters, obviously, like the average age of this promotion is like 39. But no, Dubai, they do have good fighters. Like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to rank every sort of their 2 fighters, because each, if you don't know already, each team gets 2 fighters from every division, 7 men's, 3 women's. So yeah, heavyweight, you know, who do they have? They got Todd Duffy, and they got Ali Isiev, or whatever the fuck his name is. Full undefeated fighter at 41 years of age. Full undefeated prospect, 40-year-old man. That's crazy. You know, solid. I'll give him a 5.5 for that. Light heavyweight, pretty mid. You know, they got Omari Akhmedov, but it's just some bums. Middleweight, that's actually where it's at in terms of the name value. Luke Rockhold, Derek Brunson. Those guys can run some numbers, you know. If this was fucking 2017, this would be peak, you know. 2015, they'd be going crazy. So that's pretty cool. You know, welterweight, we got Tyrone Woodley, Mr. I'm just happy that Black Lives Matter versus Abubakar, or not versus, on the same team with Abubakar Nurmagomedov, or Abu Bakr, whatever the fuck, however you say that name, the runt of the family. You know, that'll go interestingly. I'll give him a 6.5 for middleweight. I'll give him a 6.5 for welterweight. It's not too bad. Lightweight's where it's at. This is why I'm so confident they're going to win, because they're going to bank wins with Damir Ismagulov. And I'm just unbelievably confident that they're going to win that. Because he's just better. Like, Damir Ismagulov is just going to win. He's not washed at all. He's like 33. And he's could be a top 15 UFC fighter right now. So Damir, he's definitely going to take him for that. And even the other fighter that they have, Tafik Masayev, he's got wins over like 4 other fucking people in this tournament. Like, in the lightweight divisions, which is kind of crazy. Featherweight, can't say I know either of these two, but they're both under 30 years old. So, in the GFL, that's basically your Raul Rosas Jr. at that point. Bantamweight, you know, not too bad. They got some fucking, it's just, I don't know, it's a fucking bantamweight. And then the women, it's just women, you know, mid. Anyway, that is my overall assessment on screen. You can see, you know, 41-year-old undefeated heavyweight. These are my notes that I've got down for every one of them. You know, that's tough. 41-year-old prospect is kind of crazy. Mid-light heavyweights, that's like their weak point, I'd say. The middleweights aren't actually that washed. Like, people forget, man, Luke Rockhold was actually competitive with Paulo Costa. Abubakar Nurmagomedov, you know, he can probably do alright. Woodley's probably washed, let's be honest. They're going to win lightweight. All the other lightweights are fucking 39-year-olds. Damir's going to ragdoll them. What else did I say here? I think, featherweight. Again, those guys might just do well because they're young, and most of the other guys are just old. To be fair, though, the featherweight division doesn't have as many old fucks, which is interesting. And then, women, I put their threesome potential because I can scout out at least 2 females there that are pretty solid, but the other ones, they're fucking mid. Anyway, let's move on. That's my overall. I'll say like 7, 7.5. I don't know, around that range. They've done well. They've done well. The Dubai team. They got Javier Mendez as the coach. Let's be honest, they're gonna fucking win. Let's move on though to the next team. So, Los Angeles. Now, when I started, I did a GFL draft watch party. That's how you know I'm dedicated. And at the start of this, they drafted, who did they draft as their first pick? They drafted Sage Northcutt as their first round pick. And I'm like, yeah, this team's cooked. And then Tony Ferguson's their other lightweight. So I'm like, yeah, they're washed. I ultimately actually don't think they're the worst team. But heavyweight, yeah, it's Frank Mir. Just pack it up. Bro's looking like he's trying to squeeze a watermelon with rubber bands. His head's fucking indented. Andrei Arlovsky's probably still half decent. Dawoon Jung, it's a bad look when Dawoon Jung's like the prospect on your team in your light heavyweight division. Rashad Evans is apparently not fighting because they removed the post with him in it. So I don't know what's going on. They're gonna have to find someone else. Middleweight, Uriah Hall can probably do alright. Welterweight, Lorenz Larkin actually isn't too bad. He's got KO power. And the way the point system works, they need people with KO power. Lightweights, you already know, they're washed. Chad Mendes at featherweight can actually do pretty well, I reckon. Faber and Borg. Yeah, Uriah Faber in Big 2025. That's just going to be interesting. And then the women's side of things, some baddies here and there. Some decent, some Apex prelim fighters. But those are my overall assessments there. I'll give them a 4.5. Rashad's not even doing it, so I don't know who they're going to get in a replacement for him. Anyone would be better, let's be honest. Ferguson title run incoming, of course. You already know he's going to chin Demiris Makulov. But yeah, I don't have much hope for this Los Angeles team. It was a close argument in my brain of which team's worse between this and another team that you'll see later on. But anyway, let's move on though to the next team. So Miami, Team Miami. Look, I'm very confident Dubai's going to win. But if someone's gonna maybe win, that's not Dubai, I would hedge my bet on Miami, just because the other teams just suck. Like, these teams, like, none of them are that good objectively. Like, I should do it. Let me know in the comments, chat. Would you guys watch a video or enjoy a video where I did like a draft system, but with like actual UFC and just like did something like that? That'd be pretty cool. But Miami, overall, the two heavyweights aren't they're actually on the better end. I know saying JDS on the better end of heavyweights is kind of nuts, but Rebellis, if he can stuff a takedown off a 45-year-old man, should be good here. And with the point system as well, valuing knockouts, he can score some points there. So it's not even just about like if your team's going to win. Like, it does benefit you to get some finishes. So yeah, I can see Rebellis racking up some points there. 4 points for a finish as well. Light heavyweights actually not too bad. Some of the better light heavyweights. Thiago Santos, Felipe Lins, not completely old washed men. Don't forget, man, Felipe Lins beat Ian Kultalaba. Middleweight, Yoel's going to carry. Hector Lombard is on a 7-fight losing streak and he's 46. To be fair, Yoel's 47, but he's got to be the least washed 47-year-old ever. Welterweight, big Gleason T-Bow and the other black guy. Apparently, I looked up his record. He's half decent. Lightweight, Pettis, Stevens, not too bad. Stevens just won against Alvarez, so he doesn't appear to be too washed. Featherweights, very irrelevant. Bantamweights, Marais, not bad. Marais is going to get chinned by a jab from fucking Ray Borg. That's just going to happen. And then on the women's side of things, it's sad. It's really sad to see, past their prime. Everyone's talking about the GFL or old retired fighters that shouldn't be in there. I'm seeing a bunch of 40-year-old women who are just past their prime. And it's very unfortunate because, they were highly skilled athletes in their peak. Also, just wanted to point out, atomweight division on the left, the blonde one with the short hair, that's a dude. That's a man, that's a male, that's a he, that's a him. That is not a woman. So shout out Miami for just drafting a man in the female division. I can respect that, honestly. So they might win the atomweight division just on that alone. Anyway, though, you can read my assessments yourself. I don't need to read them out. Let's move on though to the next division. So the Team London, I can't lie. I've actually put this as lower than Los Angeles, and it's crazy to say because Los Angeles has Tony Ferguson and Sage Northcutt as their fucking lightweights. I think London's team is actual dog shit. Like, Tanner Boza and some other bum, Stuart Austin, I think his name is, cold. Then you got Gustafsson and Latifi, shout out. Also, I want to just say one thing. Disappointing with the GFL draft. One, they fucking leaked like 10 rounds of it, like 2 minutes in. So my chat just spoiled it for me. I was actually trying to have fun with it. But they just leaked it. And also, it was a fucking pre-recorded draft. It wasn't, like, as in, they were doing live commentary, but the draft picks weren't live. Like, they'd already decided who was on all the teams. And in my opinion, basically the way it turned out is seeing all these fucking Europeans in the lightweight team, apart from a few of them, like, most of them are Europeans, on this London team, sorry. They just, and same Dubai, it's just all fucking Russians on the Dubai team. Like, they've clearly just picked people from that region, which leads me to believe there wasn't an actual draft selection process where you actually get to make your picks. And you want to know why I think that? Because no one in their right fucking mind would pick Tyrone Woodley and Sage Northcutt as first round picks. Like, if you're trying to win this draft, you pick Demiris Magulov round 1, and then you go from there. He was selected at, like, round 7, bro. Like, that tells me that this was not an actual fucking draft. But, Latifi, Gustafsson, that's washed. Musasi's actually good. He's going to carry the fuck out of this London team, I can't lie. Danny Roberts is cooked. He's not even that old. He's just not good at all. Like, these other guys are, like, used to be good, and now they suck because they're washed. He was just never good. Benson Henderson. People forget, man. Benson Henderson. He's a savage. Some other bum with Benson Henderson, just some random fucking British dude. Who knows? Who knows? Like, fucking, I don't know. He's a bum. Featherweight, you know, you got Big Brett Johns. Shout out Brett Johns. Bantamweight, you know, Cameron Elsey. You got fucking, who's this? Josh Hill. The women, they got Penny Kianted. She's not bad. She could win some rounds for them. Julia Budd, I think that's the bitch that got smoked by Decheva. And some other chicks who are pretty hot. Josephine Knudsen is actually really good. Well, not really good, but she's good. She'll win. Because regional female MMA fighters suck. Like, none of them are good until you're in the UFC, realistically. So Knudsen's actually going to win. But no, London team, they might have the worst actual roster in terms of talent. They got the best female roster, and that's where they fit with my heart. You know, that's where they get points from me. Because, what's her name? Chiara Penko. Fucking bad as hell. Who else? Kelly Stadden, I think. Yeah, so they've got some good female talent. Anyway, let's move on to the next team. So, São Paulo, Brazil. And now another reason why this is very clearly not an actual fucking draft, and that the GFL just decided who they wanted to be on each team. They're like, oh, let's just make a team of Brazilians. Because, yeah, you got Fabricio Verdum, Bruno Capoloza, Shogun Rua, Diego Lima, these guys are all Brazilian. Alex Oliveira, there's like 3 non-Brazilians. Julio Arce is like Colombian. He's like the one for like Ecuador. I don't know. He's from somewhere. Maybe he's Brazilian too. Who knows? But like every single fucking fighter on this team is all Brazilian. So yeah, total coincidence, by the way. Like, someone said on Twitter, they pointed it out. They're like, yeah, this is clearly not an actual fucking draft. And I replied, I'm like, what do you want them to do? Send a bunch of Russians to Brazil and fucking get Dylan Danis on the Dubai team with Javier Mendez? And then I was like, actually, to be fair, that would be more funny. If you wanted some, like, if you made it, turn the backstage part with, like, the teams and shit into, like, a reality TV show, like The Ultimate Fighter. Make it like that, because, like, normally The Ultimate Fighter's got 2 teams. Make a 6-way Ultimate Fighter. That'd actually be elite. And just have, like, the beef could be, there's potential. Abubakar Nurmagomedov, Dylan Danis. Like, you can get someone going there. Tony Ferguson will just start beef with anyone. But Brazil, São Paulo, Fabricio Verdum, Bruno Capoloza, Shogun Rua, Carlos Antonio Jr., Douglas Lima. Sorry, I said Diego Lima. That's the fucking shootbox coach. Some other dude. This other guy here, this welterweight guy, Carlos Petruzzilia, is actually undefeated, 13-0. I think he's like only like 27 years old. So that's an absolute fucking anomaly in the GFL. We've spotted an alien, a fighter under 30 with an undefeated record. Absolutely nuts. Alex Oliveira, of course. Lucas Martins, not too bad. Patricky Pitbull, 39 years of age. You know, wrong Pitbull. If fucking Patricio Pitbull ain't coming to the UFC, at least send him to the GFL. It'll be kind of interesting. Watch him beat up a bunch of bums. But some other guy, this dude, their featherweights are good. I'll actually give him credit. They've got a good featherweight roster. What's his name? Mike Leharis. How's my pronunciation? And then Julio Arce, of course, as well. But in terms of featherweights, like, you might be like, that's not even good. In comparison, this is like elite stuff. Like, these guys are going to be looking like fucking Max Holloway against Kelvin Cater out there. And then their bantamweight roster, not quite as promising. Henan Barao. Yeah, you're cooked. Rafael Assunção. The chick, okay, I'll just say though, the women's bantamweights for this team, As Bobby Green would say, sheesh. Like, they are holding it down. Holding down the fort here, those two. Tremendous stuff, but the other ones all look like teenage boys. So, yeah, don't call Pat Barry. He might be interested. Anyway, let's move on to the next team. So, we got New York. Yeah, this one's an interesting one again. I don't know what the fuck they were doing with some of these, like, selections. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, Chris Weidman got drafted as, like, a second-round pick. Like, I know Ray Longo's the coach, so, again, leads me to believe that this was incredibly scripted. But it is what it is, all good. Anyway, the New York roster, heavyweights, Alexei Olenek, Big Olenek in 2025, crazy. Alan Belcher, shout out. Devin Clark and OSP, just the elite of the elite at light heavyweight. Honestly, I feel like either of those two could realistically, on their best day, be a champion in the UFC. As I said, Chris Weidman, the aforementioned, and then we got Phil Hawes as well. Unironically, Phil Hawes is going to do well. Because yes, he has no chin, but he's losing to, like, Roman Dolidze, Bruno Ferreira, these guys. He ain't losing to fucking 45-year-olds. He ain't losing to a 45-year-old Hector Lombard, bro. So I'm backing Phil Hawes to go on a run in GFL. Welterweight. Dylan Dennis. Your time's come. Pack it up, buddy. You're cooked. Dylan Dennis, if he actually steps in the cage, this is going to draw eyes. If we get... I'm waiting for the GFL fight announcements because they're supposedly starting this shit in April, which is interesting because they've got fighters. Like I was trying to scroll through some of these like unknown guys' records to see like, are these guys good? Like, are they promising? Are they going to get some points for their team? One of them's booked for the 22nd of February. One of their fighters who's not one of the guys who they like signed to maybe get drafted and didn't get. No, one of the guys who's actively drafted. I forget his name. He's literally booked for a fight 22nd of Feb. So if they actually do an event in April, that's going to be interesting. I need to go and get back to you guys on like what they're actually doing in terms of like the events. Like, is it going to be... They're not going to book everyone on like 120 fucking fighters on like 2 cards or something. I think from what I know, they said they're going to do like back-to-back cards like in a week or something, like week apart, and then like take a break. Like, I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be really weird. We'll see how it works. I'm really interested to know, like, what the setup of these fight cards is going to be as well. Pay-per-view wise, is it going to cost? I say, GFL, hire me as your fucking marketing ambassador. I'm already doing your job for you. I'm already promoting your fucking company. I did it once when you guys announced it, and I'm doing it again. I'm recording this at 4:30 a.m. Australia time. Recording a GFL fucking promo video. When the best promo that you guys used was AI clips of fucking Tyrone Woodley in a fucking Power Rangers suit. So they should hire me as like the minister of fucking promotion. And as minister of promotion, my first order of business is, first of all, make Abubakar Nurmagomedov versus Dylan Dennis as a fight. That has to happen. Also, if you're going to be doing pay-per-view, no more than $20. And that might be like, oh, but they're not going to make it. No, $20, people will actually buy it if you make the cards good. Don't book these random unknown bums against these fucking 40-year-olds. Make the washed cunts fight each other. I should even do another one, like building GFL cards. I'm the GFL guy on YouTube right now. This is my gimmick. But yeah, like do it right, book fights correctly, make it interesting. Ferguson versus Kevin Lee, these kind of fucking Benson Henderson versus Anthony Pettis 7, however many times they've fought. That's what you got to do. You get interest, make the old fucks fight the old fucks. Although that being said, Rebellis to Spain versus like fucking Fabricio Verdum would be very funny, or Frank Mir. Anyway, let's keep it going though. New York, I'll speed through this. Yeah, Dylan Dennis, you're cooked. And then another fucking irrelevant bum, Gracie, because none of them are good at the sport anymore. Kevin Lee, Sydney Outlaw, Kaika Marka, Lance Palmer, Ziad Jelavishvili. Hey, it is not Jashashvili, it is Ziad Jalishvili. Learn to read, speak English. This dude's just Marab Davalishvili from Temu. They've just changed it with a fucking Z instead. Jimmy Rivera's not too bad. He's not that washed as well. He's like 35. Women's wise, Liana Jujua. Enough said. And this other chick, looking kind of bad. These other chicks. There's one looks like a fucking homeless person. This Marissa Messer chick. She looks homeless. But B Nguyen, she's bad. Liana Jujua, bad. This Mao Ding chick probably has way too much makeup on, so she's probably mid, but looks kind of bad. So yeah, shout out New York. This is the most retarded video ever. GFL might not hire me after this one. Because instead of like breaking down their women's divisions, I'm just talking about their attractiveness. Anyway, that's what you market them on. Realistically, no one cares about women's MMA. Just if you have hot fighters, put them on promos and just show their cheeks to the world. They'll buy the pay-per-view. Anyway, let's move on to the next order of business. So you probably could have figured out my ranking yourself if you just looked at my like overall criteria, which mathematically did not reflect at all the grades that I gave like the individual divisions. But I think it's pretty clear. Dubai is number 1. Miami's number 2. I think that's a clear 1 and 2. I got New York at 3. Them and Sao Paulo, it's slightly competitive. I just think New York's slightly less washed. You know, with like Phil Hawes and about no one else. Sao Paulo, they do have that undefeated guy, but I don't know if he's good at all. New York also has Holly Holm. So if we're talking about just men, then that's the only thing we're interested in. But if you're looking at it objectively, they have Holly Holm. She might be 42 and she might be a grandma. She's still going to win. So yeah, I'd say New York, Sao Paulo, and then I'd say Los Angeles, and then London is the worst. It's competitive. Let me know your ranking of the teams in the comments. But I think Dubai is a clear number 1. I think Miami is a clear number 2. If you want to have those switched, go for it. I think that's clear 1 and 2. I think Los Angeles and London are clear last 2. And then I think Sao Paulo and New York are clear 3 and 4. And then you can kind of switch 1 and 2. You can switch 3 and 4. And you can switch 5 and 6. But that's my order. Anyway, let's move on to now talking about the actual divisions and discussing how some of these could play out and who's going to win. So before we do that though, really quickly, I got to remind you of the tournament format. And the reason I'm reminding you is because I don't know what the fuck's going on myself. So we're going to try and figure this out together. I need some masterminds in the comments to tell me how this is working. Because it's showing City 1, City 2, obviously 6 cities, right? Semi-finals, and then I don't know what this format is, because it just says semi-finals. How's it gone straight to semi-finals? Seed 1 versus Seed 4, Seed 2 versus Seed 3, and then it's finalist 1 and 2. Like, this makes no fucking sense. Because you're not going to have 2 guys from the same team fight each other, are you? I don't think that's how it works. Like, if both Dubai lightweights win, are they going to fight each other in the final? No, because you're like trying to compete with the other teams for more points. So I don't know how it's going to work. Maybe they're going to do like, okay, the first round is like all New York versus like Los Angeles fights or something, which I think would be dumb as fuck, because I think that would just prevent like being able to matchmake properly. But I don't know how it's going to work. I assume it's going to be like all the guys. Well, not all the lightweights are going to be able to fight each other, I guess. It's going to be like, because there's 2 lightweights from each team, so maybe there's like 1 lightweight matchup for each guy. So like, for like Demir Ismagulov, you know, he can fight, I don't know, Patricky Pitbull. And then the other guy from Musayev or whatever can fight fucking the other dude from Brazil. I don't know how it's going to work if like teams against each other, or if it's just going to be like a cross bracket thing. They got to fucking figure that out. Or maybe there's going to book fights and just be like, alright, yeah, like they're going to book this. Every team's going to like have the same amount of fights that take place. So like each team will probably get like, as a whole team, will get like 12 fights or something. I don't know. As the whole team. And then if one of their guys doesn't even fight, the other one fights twice, maybe that'll happen. I got zero fucking clue how this works. It's really confusing. Again, GFL has done an absolutely atrocious job of like making this like clear, providing clarity on how this is going to work. Anyway, let's also quickly just look at the point system so you guys can know what's going on there. So, point system's pretty simple. 4 points for a finish win, 3 points for a decision win, 2 points for a draw, 1 point for a decision loss, and 0 points for a finish loss. So that is going to play a factor in terms of like which team of you guys think is going to win. Because even if I think Demir is going to win every fight that he has, maybe he's not finishing everyone. That's where a guy like Lorenz Larkin, who's clearly not as skilled as Demir, they're not in the same division obviously, but or a guy like Rebellis, who might lose 2 of his fights, but if he fights fucking 5 times, and he wins 3 of those by finish, that's 12 points. compared to, like, okay, he loses. You don't lose points for losing, you just don't gain any. So that's my thing. And if he loses, might be by decision, might get held down, he gets a point. So that's where it is going to be interesting, and you might see some goofiness of, like, guys who clearly don't fucking deserve to win, or like a team where you're like, yeah, they should not have won. Like, they clearly weren't the best team, but, like, their matchups, they might get favourable matchups to score finishes. So, like, their losses might have more losses than wins, but their wins are all finishes, and their losses are all, like, decisions. That could happen. Anyway, now let's just go through all the divisions, starting with heavyweight, going all the way down to bantamweight, and let's kind of talk about who I think is going to do the best in those divisions. So, heavyweight, I'll read the names all out on screen first. Tanner Boza, Stuart Austin, Fabricio Verdum, Bruno Capaloza, Todd Duffy, Ali fucking Isaev, Junior Dos Santos, Robelas Despain, Alexio Olenek, Ellen Belcher, Frank Mir, Andrei Arlovsky. I think we can rule out Big Frank Mir. I think he's a name we can rule out probably from causing much ruckus. But I'm going to say my top 5. Bruno Capaloza, he is pretty solid and he's not washed. That's a great criteria to start with. He's under 40. Ali Isaev, never seen him fight. Undefeated record though, fair enough. Robelas, he just has to defend takedowns and he'll probably win. But even then, I don't know how much I rate him. So it's like 3 feels like a good spot where, like, I'm not confident he beats anyone who can wrestle. But I'm also not confident any of these old fucks are, like, physically capable of getting takedowns. Andrei Arlovsky, although he is, like, 44, he does know how to somewhat kind of smudge people against the cage, and he's probably not lost all his physicality compared to, like, not a Velasquez. I was going to say Velasquez fighting, that'd be interesting. Like a Frank Mir, who probably just doesn't have an ounce of fucking strength left in his body. So those are going to be my rankings for heavyweight. Which team's got the best heavyweights? I overall do think, even though JDS is washed, I do think Miami is probably going to score the most points with their heavyweights. Because I don't see JDS getting, like, ran through, unless, like, this Isaev dude or, like, Capaloza just smokes them. Like, maybe they do. Capaloza does seem pretty decent. But if Robelas is winning, it's going to be by finish. Are they going to rack up some points? So if you're looking at it as if, like, which fighter do I think is the best, I'd say Capaloza. If I'm looking at it as in which team is going to win, I would say, as in which team's going to score the most points, I would say probably Miami for heavyweight. Anyway, let's move on to the light heavyweight division. So, light heavyweight, we got OSP, Devin Clark, that's the New York team. We got, what the fuck is that guy's name? Can't even fucking read. Ronnie Marks, I think. Omari Akhmedov, that is the Dubai team. We got Alexander Gustafsson, Ilir Latifi, that's the London team. Dawoon Jung, and I know it says there Rashad Evans. It's TBA, because apparently fucking Rashad Evans isn't doing it, which is probably a good thing. But who could replace him at light heavyweight? I saw that Anton Tricali didn't get drafted, the pleasure man. Get him in there. Thiago Santos, Felipe Lins, that's the Miami team. And then Shogun Hua, and then Antonio Jr., fucking whatever his name is. So my ranking, I'll say Santos, I'd say number 1. He's not completely fucking old and washed. Like, he's not good anymore, but, like, I'm not picking Omari Akhmedov to beat him. Devin Clark has a win over Dawoon Jung, so I got to put him above him. Felipe Lins, not that old. He's old, he's 39, but he's decent. Gustafsson, just for the fact that, like, yes, his chin's probably cooked, but is he going to get chinned heaps? Maybe. I don't know. I'll put him there just because skill-wise, I think he's a bit better than most of these guys. Like, I think skill-wise, he's still a lot better than Omari Akhmedov. And then I'll say this Carlos Antonio Jr. guy, purely because I checked his record and it looked decent. But, like, some of these matchups, like, who are you picking OSP versus Ilir Latifi? Like, I'm probably leaning OSP. Like, who are you picking? Devin Clark or fucking Shogun Hua? Like, I gotta go Devin Clark. He's younger, he's more physical. Like, Shogun's probably, like, bottom. If I was gonna do a whole ranking, which would just take too long, I couldn't really think of it. I think Shogun's pretty much, like, bottom 3. Just because, like, he got finished by Ihor Potieria. Like, that's tough. But we're probably gonna get, like, a Shogun OSP trilogy. That'll probably happen. Who do I pick in that? Probably lean OSP. Anyway, let's move on though to the next division. Middleweight. This is where we got some interest. Middleweight's where it's at. This is like the premier division of the GFL. Maybe actually lightweight probably with like Pettis, Ferguson, Henderson, Lee, all those guys. Lightweight's probably the premier division, but middleweight's number 2. We got Gegard Mousasi. I can't even read my computer screen. Some fucking Polish looking name. Douglas Lima, the dude that KO'd MVP. If you don't know, again another Brazilian as well. Let me know if he's good. Anyone, right lane? I'm sure you're in tune with the Brazilian regional scene. If this guy's any good, Luke Rockhold, Derek Brunson. The grapplers, grappling delight there. Dubai team. They'll probably do pretty well, I'd guess. Chris Weidman just retired. Who knows if he's fucking fighting still? Like, there does remain a question if half of these guys are gonna fight. Miami, Yoel Romero. He's up there. He's number 1 on my ranking. Hector Lombard. Yeah, you're fucked. You got finished by Neil Magny, buddy. Pack it up. And then we got some other bum, and then Uriah Hall. Uriah Hall will probably do alright. Like, he's not fully washed. Like, he didn't leave his fucking UFC career on like a 10-fight losing streak. Like, he lost to Andre Muniz, and he lost to I think he lost to Strickland and Muniz. But my ranking, I'll say Romero, Mousasi. Those two are interchangeable. I'm putting Phil Hawes, I'm putting Big Philly Hawes at the number 3 spot. And I wouldn't even be, like, call me crazy, it wouldn't surprise me to see him actually win. Not because he's good, and also because he does have an awful chin, which is, like, the deterrent there. But I still think, like, athleticism-wise, speed-wise, he's just gonna be quicker. Like, this dude is gonna fucking dance rings around Hector Lombard, bro. Like, maybe he gets caught with an overhand. But apart from that, I'm backing Phil Hawes to do well here if he doesn't get randomly chinned. But yeah, Rockhold, Brunson, I think they'll have success. Again, Dubai, they're just banking some wins here. Like, yeah, I'm picking Rockholds to beat anyone comfortably except for Mousasi, Romero, and then Hawes just because... Oh, we need Luke Rockholds versus Phil Hawes. That needs to happen. Book it immediately. This is why they need me as the head of fucking promotion and marketing and stuff. Anyway, let's move on to the welterweight division. Welterweight, this one's an interesting one. Not really. Not at all. But we got this undefeated Brazilian dude. Again, and then we also... I'm just saying against. They're not against each other. They're on the same team. Alex Oliveira as well. This other black guy and Gleason Tebow on the Miami team. There's some very weak welterweight teams, I can't lie. This other guy, and then Lorenz Larkin, I believe that's the Los Angeles team. We got Dylan Dennis and fucking Gracie for the New York team. Yeah, they're fucked. Tyrone Woodley, first overall draft. That's how you know it's cooked. With Abubakar Nurmagomedov or Abubakar. That'll be interesting, I guess. And then we got Danny Roberts and this other bum. So welterweight is looking like one of the weakest divisions. When I saw Woodley get signed, I'm like, okay, maybe they're going to do some shit with welterweight. But no, it seems like lightweight and middleweight are good. Heavyweight's got names. But yeah, it seems like welterweight is very weak and featherweight's pretty weak too. I'll say my ranking, I would say Lorenz Larkin, Abubakar Nurmagomedov, the undefeated guy Carlos Petruzzilia, Delano Taylor, that's the black guy on the left for the Miami team. And then I'll say Woodley, I guess. I don't know, I'm not putting fucking Dylan Dennis as my top 5. Danny Roberts is about to fucking put on like a Leon Edwards performance and just like leg kick everyone at range and be too quick. About to put on a fucking masterclass in hip feinting from the outside. But now Gleason Tebow, can't wait to see big Unc Gleason Tebow fucking sleep Dylan Dennis. That'd be funny. Guy, if I give you $50 and you get a betting line priced at even money, like minus 110 each side, or plus 100 each side, whatever, alright, and I say you get to bet money, do you think Dylan Dennis is going to compete in a mixed martial arts fight? Are you betting yes or no? $50 even money returns you the same amount either way. Let me know in the comments. Timestamp when I'm saying this and say yes or no. I need to know if you guys would bet money on Dylan Dennis to actually fight. Not bet on him to win the fight, but bet on him to actually take place in a fucking fight. Anyway, that's my ranking for welterweight. Let's move on though to the next division. So, lightweight. Seems like this is the main division. This is probably the one that's going to get the eyeballs. It's got T. Ferg. It's got Kevin Lee fitting into all of this. We got Benson Henderson. People forget, man. We got Patricky Pitbull for the fucking hardcore fans that will be like, I don't know, man. I think the Pitbull brothers will be UFC champions. We got Demir. let's be honest, Dubai's gonna fucking run this division. Damir Ismagulov is gonna just kill everyone. Not kill everyone. He won't kill them, but like he'll just win. Like, he's not gonna finish that. He'll probably will though. Honestly, like, I'd back Damir to sub Kevin Lee, probably sub Pettis, sub Stevens. Like, I'd back that, honestly. He'd fucking whoop Ferguson's ass. But Tariq Masaev, in case you're like, oh, Damir's gonna carry. Nah, bro, he ain't gonna need a carry. Tariq Masaev's my number 2 pick. This dude already has wins over Patricky Pitbull, Sydney Outlaw, and I think Lucas Martinez. Brother, we have to check this. Wait, quick, on the fire. Maybe it's just 2 of them, but I'm pretty sure this dude literally has wins already over like multiple fucking fighters that he's gonna be competing against. Which is kind of nuts to think, like, what's the fucking promotion? Like, this guy already whooped his ass, but will the result be any different? But let me check. He's already got a win over Sydney Outlaw. He's already got a win over Patricky Pitbull. Okay, so it's just the 2 of them, actually. Never mind. Yeah, so he's already got 2 wins over these fighters. So that's interesting. So he's going to beat those 2 easily. But I'd say, yeah, that's my ranking. Damir, Tafiq. I'll go Pettis number 3. I think he's better than Kevin Lee still, even though maybe Pettis is just fully washed, but who knows? We'll see. Stevens does still appear to have power, and he does appear to be roided to the gills. I will say, I will support GFL on the condition that 1, they just book the most ridiculous UNC matchups, and then 2, which is going to be very easy, and 2, they let these guys juice to the fucking gills. No drug testing. Don't care. Just let them juice. And then obviously lightweight, you know, Sage Northcutt, Tony Ferguson. That's the sympathy pity party. I am going to have a segment just for... I'm not going to talk about Tony's matchups right now. I'm going to have a segment right at the end of the video just to discuss how likely a Ferguson win is. But if you disagree with my ranking, fair enough. It's kind of hard to tell like who's better at this point. I got Pitbull 5. It is what it is. Anyway, let's move on to the featherweight division. So, featherweight division, this is pretty dead. I'm not spending that much time on this one. Kai Kamaka, what the fuck that guy? Lance Palmer. I'm going to just skip to the fucking point. Julio Arce is going to win this division, probably. Maybe one of those Russian dudes wins it from Dubai team. I've put one of them on my list. Again, have never seen him fight, but he's Russian and he's under 30. But all these like those London feather, like Mike Grundy and Brett Johns, like those guys are not doing well. Harrison appears to be half decent, I guess. Charles Rosa, Chad Mendes is probably still pretty solid. I'm putting him number 2 just because I don't really fucking know how good he is at this point. But in terms of who I've seen fight recently, Julio Arce is actually talented and he's not washed and old. Like, he fought last year, so I don't know why they cut him. But Arce should win. Mendes, Nurmagomedov, Lynn Harris as well appears to be half decent, and Kai Kamaka as well. I don't know, featherweight seems pretty dead. I was hoping they would get some more featherweights in there. Like, there was some opportunities, you know. You could have get fucking... Go retire Cub Swanson and send him over there. I don't know. But there's featherweights to put in the fucking GFL. Like, get Barboza, get Edson Barboza over there. He can go kill some people. Anyway, spinning wheel kick their heads off. Let's move on, though, to the Bantamweight division. Bantamweight, we got some washed guys here. You know, the GFL, the Geriatric Fight League, is living up to its name here with some of these guys. You know, Henan Barrow, shout out. What we need to do, petition to get Dana White to step down as head of fucking UFC, president of UFC, whatever. He can have his stocks, he can do all that shit. No more decision making in the UFC. He's doing a bunch of goofy shit. Alright, get Dana over to the GFL, alright? Not this fucking AI generated individual that they've got running the deal over there. When it should be me instead, because I'd do a way better job. But get Dana White over there. Get him doing GFL post-fight, like, or pre-fight and post-fight press. What's the question? Henan Barrow? Yeah, he's fucking 45 years old. He's a bum. This old fuck. Yeah, we're looking to do him versus Sang Yadang. That's the fight that people want to see. Like, I don't know. Dana just needs to go over there and fully embrace it. Like, this GFL is going to be like, yeah, we're a competitor to the UFC, you know, 50-50 revenue. We're really all about fighter safety or fighter health, all that. Eliminate weight cutting, all this. Dana's like, yeah, these guys are fucking old as shit and we're going to have them fight each other. It's going to be goofy as fuck. Like, that's what we need. Just embrace it. Literally promote yourselves as the Grandpa Fight League. It's more funny. It will draw eyes. Say, you know these old guys that you hear all these fucking old head unks talking about? Like, we forget, man. Like, the people that tell you in the comments, like, you never watched prime Benson Henderson. You don't know how good he was. He's top 10 all time, right? And you got to watch these guys live. That's what they should promote it as. Be like, you know, these guys that the fucking old heads will have top 20 on their GOAT list. Like, you get to watch these guys live. You can see them in all their glory, you know? Or just be like, yeah, one of these guys is going to get KO'd by a jab. It's going to be funny. Tune in. Find out who. Like, that's what it's going to be. That's what you got. Just be like, Frank Mir had a hip surgery. You should tune in to watch him fight. Like, I don't know, Cain Velasquez is currently on parole. Watch him kill a man on live TV. Like, that's how they should be promoting their shit, bro. Anyway, my ranking, Jimmy, I didn't even read out the fucking names. Who cares? You can read them on screen yourself. Jimmy Rivera, Assumpção Moraes. Moraes could probably still look alright, because he's still a very glass cannon-y fighter. Like, I haven't seen him fight that recently. The last time I saw him fight was Song Yadong, I think. I didn't really watch any of his PFL fights. Like, I don't know if he's looking completely washed, like, skill-wise, or if he's just got no durability. But if it's durability, I think he'll be fine. Like, unless you're getting KO'd by fucking Ray Borg, in which case you're just cooked, then he should be okay, and he should be able to sort of size max his way to a win. Because, yeah. Also, why the fuck did no one sign Mateus Nicolau? He, not like as in why they not sign him to be drafted. No, he was available to be drafted. He was there. They put out a post saying Nicolau's been signed, right? No one drafted him. They signed Ray Borg, Uriah Faber, Rafael Assuncao, fucking Renan Barão. They signed Renan Barão. I know they're signing all these Brazilians on the Brazilian team. Nicolau's Brazilian. Could have signed him. Nope, Renan Barão. That's the pay-per-view draw right there. So yeah, GFL, just absolute low IQ. What they should have done as well is get Makayev on their fucking, as their bantamweight, because their bantamweight, no one cares about them. They should have got Makayev to just fight 2 weight classes up from flyweight, fight at 135. No, 145. Their bantamweight division is 145 and they don't have a flyweight. So they would have had Makayev fighting at 45. That's what they should do. No one cares about your bum bantamweights. There's actually a storyline and UFC fans are kind of interested in Makayev as a potential comeback. Send him off to the GFL. Let him beat up a bunch of fucking old retired legends and be like, see man, he beat Ray Borg. That was a title defense of Demetrius Johnson. That's what you do. Makayev missed out on an opportunity. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, just the women. I'm saying that Corey McKenna and Penne, they're going to win their division for atomweight. I think they're Los Angeles, I believe. Then Josephine Knudsen and whoever the fuck she's with, I don't care about her partner. Knudsen's I don't care about her other teammate. Knudsen will win. The other fighters all suck. Like, I think she's competing with like Paige Van Zandt and like Hannah Goldie. Like, she's going to win. And then Bantamweight, I think it's pretty obvious. Holly Holm should win. I think Pani Kianzad is in the London team, so maybe Pani Kianzad can do alright, but I think it's Holly Holm all day. With the women's fights, just basically look like which of these ones are former UFC fighters, and then which of these ones are random regional bitches who are just kind of hot. And that's how you pick who's going to win. But anyway, final point of discussion is Tony Ferguson, and let's talk about him. So, if they're going to stick to their lightweight thing and actually do the season format, which I low-key just have a feeling they're going to fucking abandon it. Like, it would be kind of funny, just abandon the whole format that, like, makes them unique and just put on fights. Like, I wouldn't mind that and just kind of, like, vaguely score point system-wise and be like, oh, see you guys, oh, look, Team Dubai got 4 points here with the first round finish from fucking Tafik Masayev. Like, I don't know what they're going to do, but if they do stick to that and Tony does fight at lightweight, there's 3 matchups for him, in my opinion. It's Benson Henderson, you forget, man. It's Kevin Lee rematch, or it is Anthony Pettis rematch. Those are the fights. Has he fought Benson? Am I casual? Wait, but we have to check this. I promise I'm not a casual. Sorry, I didn't watch the sport in like 2002. There's no way he fought Benson. That was a completely fucking different time period, wasn't it? Anyway, though, those are the fights. I don't want to see him fight Stevens, because he probably will get chinned, because although Stevens isn't that good, he still has power. But yeah, and if the other option I did put is if they just abandon the weight classes and let him fight at welterweight, then the fight to make would be Dylan Dennis, because I do think that is winnable. And if you lose to fucking... Okay, he hasn't fought Benson Henderson. I'm not fucking casual. But if he loses to Dylan Dennis, it's just unbelievably over. Like, it is so unbelievable. Like, at that point, just cut him then and there mid-season and just let fucking Sage Northcutt fight the rest of the fights. Because, yeah, if you lose to Dylan Dennis, you're cooked. But... yeah, Ferguson, okay, in the comments, I'm going to put up a poll, and I'll put up, like, who is the most winnable fight for him out of Pettis. I won't include Danis because I think he's the option. But like, I'll say, who's the most winnable fight? Pettis, Lee, or Henderson? I'm interested what you guys think. I still have a feeling at this stage, because Ferguson's physically just not there, like strength-wise. Kevin Lee could probably out-grapple him. I think Benson's the easiest matchup for him because I just don't think Benson can like actually physically do damage to someone at 40 years of age, and I don't think he's going to take him down, beat him up. Pettis is interesting. I'd probably lean Ferguson, but again, we just haven't fucking seen these dudes fight MMA for ages. Like Kevin Lee, last time we saw him, he got subbed by Renat like immediately. And that was a while ago, I think. And he's fought since then, I think, in another promotion once, I believe. But yeah, anyway, Ferguson, I do think he can win. Am I confident? No. If he fights anyone with physical, like, I will boycott the GFL and stop talking about them immediately if they fucking book Tony Ferguson against either of the Dubai guys. If they do Ferguson versus Demiris Magulov, I will cease all support and public promotion of the GFL. But anyway, that'll do it, guys. Yeah, I talked for 45 minutes. Jesus Christ. Goodbye. Fuck off. Oh, what am I doing? It's 5 a.m. Oh, fuck my life.